What are you most passionate about? One of the things that I found to help me so much along this path, this Mucusless Diet Healing System health path, is being very passionate about something. Something that gets me motivated to get up out of bed in the morning, to maybe go to bed early just to get up, just to get started, just to go do whatever it is that I'm passionate about doing. So I want to talk a little bit about this concept of passion, and it's something you hear all the time. You hear a lot of self-help people talk about it. You got to, find your passion, monetize your passion. The entrepreneurial self-help folks, monetize your passion. Do what you love to do. Find a way to monetize it. I agree. I agree with that sentiment. That's sometimes easier said than done. Depends all on what you're passionate about. What are you knowledgeable about? Generally we're knowledgeable about things that we're really passionate about. What do you love? Another word, passion. What do you love to do? What gives you purpose? As long as it doesn't hurt yourself or hurt other people, I think it's fair game. We do want to make an audit and think if there's things that you're passionate about that are not really on the up and up, that hurt people, hurt yourself, not really in service to humanity, then those we put that on the list of vices that you might really love, or you might really enjoy, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that thing that gives you purpose, that you love, that you just love to do. And oftentimes those things are, the society doesn't allow us to really dive into those things like we might want. And those of us that decide to do so sacrifice a lot. But that's part of being passionate. How are you passionate enough to sacrifice everything for whatever it is that you are passionate about? So to tie this in with the Mucusless Diet Healing System, what I found was, as long as I was engaged in, for me, my number one passion, I'd have to say, is music. And I would love to come on here and talk a lot more about music, but I know I start losing people because a lot of you aren't. It's like a lot of people that were into the music could care less about the diet, and a lot of the diet people, I wouldn't say you're not into the music, you don't necessarily understand it, or you haven't made that connection yet to be as excited about it as I am. But for me, this is like the secret, the secrets to high-level practicing the Mucusless diet. All the technical stuff, man, we could talk about that all day. The technocratic, which I love. I love the details of a good transition, going step by step, the logic involved in that, finding items that are less mucus forming, that are less harmful yet good for the transition. I love that stuff. It's all, but that's more on the technical side, the physical side, the enemas, physical stuff. But I love talking about mindset because that's outside of that realm. Mindset. But also, to me, what really feeds into that mindset is this concept of passion, which is, it's tough to discuss and experience that experience. And to me, when people say, oh, you have a gift, or they use that concept of you're gifted or you have a gift, for me personally, and I kind of thought like this many years ago, the gift is that I found my purpose and what I'm passionate about. Something that I love, and I've been given a certain level of aptitude to do it. And so for me, that's the gift, because then there's a lot of work to do. If you want to develop, we kind of start off, if you're a musician or an artist or what, you start off with like, okay, you might have an aptitude, but that doesn't mean you're going to be great. You got to do a lot of work. And I have a ton of work left to do, believe me. But when I get in that mode, I love it. I love to do it, and I'm passionate about it. And in the early days, in the early years, because of my passion, because I was immersed, when you can immerse yourself into what you're passionate about, time flies. And some people call that the flow state, where it's like you're just on a cloud flowing, and you can experience these periods where you're not hungry at all, or you don't crave the worst things. And if you have the habits that we teach on this channel, doing the enemas and that kind of stuff, you get those habits together, then you will put yourself in a position to actually enhance and skyrocket your development. I mean, for people that want a shortcut, for people that want to transition faster, then these are the kinds of conversations that we have to have. It's at that point, it's not a technical thing. There is no technical outside. After we get done talking about enemas and fasting and fruits and transitional menus, and that once we get done with the technical and the physical stuff, it's mindset at that point. And one of the things that I found to almost be like time traveling, it like transport you, is when you are immersed into something that you're so thoroughly into, and you're able to lose yourself in it. And the time flies, the hunger goes away, it's easier to fast. When I did my first 6-month juice fast, if I hadn't been passionate about music, if I hadn't been passionate about developing myself, educating myself, I had periods where I was practicing 8 hours a day music while I was 8 to 12 hours, because I don't even measure it, because it never stops. Get up in the morning, mess around, warm up on the piano, warm up on the trombone, working on new songs. While I'm working on certain things, I might be watching a new documentary, might take a break, go read a book, read a couple chapters out of some Hotima, something, do an enema, practice some more, go outside and play some music on the street for a couple hours. That's the lifestyle. That when you have so much, it's like so much is in there, there's no time to be thinking about steak and eggs and all that crap. Now, if you're being fueled by that, you do have to go through a period of the fall down where you kind of got to get out of that, get that stuff out of your system. Because when you're fueled by that stuff, then that's a different, because you can be passionate about something, but then if you're fueled by pus and mucus, so I'm not talking about that. So there's most people in the world that are passionate people, that are passionate about something, they generally are pus and mucus eaters, and they're fueled. And that is, it's doing what it does. It contributes, it's whatever they're doing, or art, or whatever they're doing. But we're talking about the elevation, taking things to a whole different level. So what I'd like for you to do is share with me what you're passionate about. Down in the description, I want you to tell me, what is it that you are most passionate about today? And understand that it can change. Your passions can kind of change over time, depending on what you get into. And I'll add this caveat. Something that you're most passionate about that isn't diet. That isn't about, because that's another thing, because we get people, they get so into the diets and they get so passionate about that. But I'm trying to get it to where that should just be, that shouldn't even be a big deal. practicing the Mucusless diet and doing your enemas every day, and or however often you do them, or fasting and juicing every day, that shouldn't even be a big deal. You can share it, and if you're proud of it and you're happy and it's helping other people, I don't have a problem, with the folks that share. I enjoy looking at Instagram videos and stuff of people's very beautiful, where they know how to make it look so great. I enjoy all that, but I wouldn't, if you're one of those kind of people, I would not let that be your only passion, because I've just seen that be kind of a recipe for disaster. It's almost like you're putting this, it's like a pressure that you put on yourself, because you're opening yourself up publicly. I was like, before I really started putting stuff out there publicly, I was years and years into practicing the Mucusless diet already. And even then, the social media stuff didn't really start hitting until I'd been practicing over 10 years. And I knew what kind of proximity I wanted to have. What I see with a lot of people, they get into the diets, and within a couple years, they're posting every day about it and really trying to build a following around, because they're like newly passionate about it. And like I said, that's beautiful, but at the same time, let's manage expectations. Let's really dig into the system. Really, there's a period of time where you really got to focus on practicing this diet properly, and having this like external feedback and these outside voices and the kind of comments you can get on YouTube, and like it can mess with you. If you, depending on the kind of work you've done internally, it can mess with you. So I always encourage people, get as deep as you can into the diet before you really get too public. And but that's just some little friendly advice from Spira. But I want to hear. Let me know down in the comments, what are you most passionate about? If you can, something besides diet, not diet related, something else. I want to hear, it's beautiful if you have a job that you are passionate about, or running a business, or into whatever you're into. I don't want to start naming things, even give ideas. I want to hear from you. What is it that you're most passionate about? So go down below, let me know. And before you go, right here, I want you to click in this square. There's another video for you to watch. It's a great video. I think you'll really enjoy it. Click right here now, and I will see you over there. Peace, love, and breath.